activating your melanin code. You see, there have been a lot of teaching about melanin. But to be honest with you, most people have been teaching about melanin. They were teaching from the books, which is basically intellectual knowing. Real knowing is experiential. You have to have the experience. And so I may not be able to bring scientific terms and so on to you, because that isn't the way how I've been educated. Because you see, real education meant to draw out from within yourself. That's why I could only draw from my experience and share my experience with you. Okay? You see, every one of us on this planet have access to a code of communication, a code of language. Language always carries a code. Well, that code of language is based on the melanin you have in you. And that code of language is a super highway of intelligence that is at another level. And there are certain practices or certain things that is needed for you to get in alignment to activate that code that is within you. For example, so many people are wearing shoes and not being out in nature, bare feet, being connected. So many people lack vitamin D3, not getting enough sunlight. So many people are not drinking water that carries certain code and life in it. And they're not even speaking certain words or casting certain spells, because words are spells over the water that they're consuming. And most of their body is actually water. And the reason why I can tell you that, okay, is because the way how I was able to activate my melanin code was through my, let me call it suffering, through my experience. I would have reached a point where I couldn't even afford light and water. I would have reached to a state whereby even my toilet, where I was renting at the time, was clogged up with so much a thing around it. And it's as if I didn't even know that there was such a thing as a toilet cleaner that I could just go and buy it, because it's like my mindset was so much in lack and scarcity. Okay, because of what I was going through at the time, not knowing I was actually going through the dark night of the soul. Okay, and that's what led me to seek otherwise. And so the only how I could get water was to go to the places I know where they had spring water springing from the earth, and start to drink with the water, start to bathe from the water. But when I do it, I used to basically like hide from the public. Okay, because it's like you don't want people see you jogging water. Okay, so I would go with about, say, sometimes 3 or 4 jugs. Okay, I will wait until everybody already gone to work. Okay, and I will go there, take off my clothes, and I will bathe with the water and everything. Okay, so when I speak about drinking pure water coming from the earth, and it carry a code with it too. Okay, I know what I'm speaking about. And I can remember after I have my awakening experience and so on, every time I go to the spring to catch water, I would speak into the water as I catch the water with life. And I see how much it work and change my life. When I start to sleep in a place with no electricity. Okay, and I would sometimes light candles, and in a place without no electricity. That is when I had experienced a visitation. That's when I started getting in touch with my ancestors. That's when I started getting in touch with what people would call extraterrestrial and so on. Okay, that's when my intelligence started to go to another level. So I believe light and certain light could block you from getting in touch with your melanin code. So that's why, my brother and my sisters, the things that I said to you, I could only share my experience. And when I was going through the dark night of my soul is when I would have left my job, the post office. Okay. And I didn't have anything basically to say fall back on and so on. But I knew what I was doing, that I would have made up my mind that this is now what I want in life, to just be walking and waiting for retirement and so on. And I realized that there was more in life, because I remember when I was a little boy, I asked myself, who am I and who's God? And I remember all of the mystical experiences I would have had and so on. So all of these things that I discovered, I was discovering these things and not knowing why, what they were really all about. But now I could go into all of the different teachers on the internet. You call Joe Dispenza, you talk about HeartMath Institute, all of these scientific terms that they are using, all of these scientific things that they are using, all of these things, man. I could just look at nature, share my experience, and show you why all of the knowledge on the internet is just confirmation to my experience. That is why I want to say to melanated people, if you activate that melanin code, you're going to open up a whole line of intelligence from another another dimension. Let me put it that way. Okay, so they're blocking your signal. They're blocking you from activating that code. It's like your signal station, okay, walking this planet. But because you're so busy chasing after money, chasing after career, chasing after these illusionary thing that they give you, because when you understand the polarity of yourself and the other races, okay, you would realize that all they could offer to you is an illusionary fulfillment in an illusionary world. But when you understand how to live from the real world, because this world here is the world of lie, but the world that you're not seeing is the world of truth. That's why you have to take the lie from this world, okay, and convert that lie or transmute it in the truth world. In the truth world is where you would transmute it. So when they tell you that how you go to bed and how you awake, and when they tell you to this affirmation and all the different rituals and the different things that they're telling you to do with their self-help books, and you see that they're making them bestsellers and this and that, and you look up to these people and so on, you believe these people are great teachers and this and that. It's not really like that, you know. It's just that basically you're out of alignment and you're out of communication with your ancestors, because why? They have you tune in to their ancestors. That's why I will speak against the white idol Jesus, the pale skin Jesus that they give you to believe in, and the conversation that you always find yourself in terms of the way you speak. For example, there's a lot of melanated people who claim to be spiritual and conscious, and they're always talking about the Most High. Which kind of the Most High are you talking about? You're the one. The line of communication or intelligence is in you. It's in your consciousness. It's in your awareness. So when you understand the code of language, and you understand that words are actual spell, and that the most powerful people on this planet in terms of decision making and how the world will focus their energy, it comes from men who speaks. All these politicians and preachers and these other influential people all around the world, what they do, they use the power of the tongue, because the power of life and death is what? In the tongue. But those who are using dark energy, okay, they're the ones who are making the decision in the dark. That's why I said in the islands, like in the Caribbean and Africa and all of these places and so on, right, that they use religion. You have to see who are behind it in the dark. And that is why when you're using social media, okay, which is a way to convey message to others, if you do not understand that the cell phone, the television, all the different electronics and so on, they are a replica of that super highway that is within you, that super intelligence and communication highway that is within you. If you do not know that, you'll be easily sell yourself to get views and for them to embrace you and to give you favor and social media, so they can have you to speak what they want you to speak when you want, when they want you to speak, and how they want you to speak. They could decide who you should agree to do interviews with and who you should collab with and so on. And so many people are selling themselves short because they are choosing the temporal illusionary things here. And these are the same people trying to claim that they're teaching you consciousness and so on, you know, and they never activate their melanin code. But because they study melanated people, they know if you see a melanated man and he look as if he's successful, because you measure success based on how they tell you or how they make you believe success is. And you look at these people and you allow them to influence you. You know what happened? The last reproduction always taking place. Every seed always reproducing after its own kind. So if I'm a really and truly a self-realized, self-actualized person, if the things that I'm saying to you, they didn't come out of a book, okay, and I am a living book right here speaking to you, and I'm truly been transformed, okay, I truly experience both my physical and non-physical self. If all of that happens and you tune in, okay, to my level of vibration and frequency, and what I teach resonate with you, I can guarantee you that you and your generation after would receive what I would have received. Because what I would have received, it is more than the physical things that the billionaires and multimillionaires could offer you. Money cannot buy the experience. So, my brother and my sisters, make use of the knowledge that I'm sharing with you concerning melanin. People think melanin have to do with just your complexion. It's more than that. I normally call it the invisible fluid. It's like a plane have to have a certain kind of fluid to fly. A jet, the same thing. Like for example, a vehicle that works with say gasoline. If you put diesel in it, it could mash it up. Okay, I might have to just drain the engine and so on and get rid of that. It's the same thing. Okay, with you. And the more melanated you are, you have to know what you are eating. You have to know what to observe. You have to know who to listen to. You have to realize that your body is the temple. You have to realize that there's a good reason why they're putting so much fast food and junk food where you people live. You have to understand why you are hated. You have to understand why the algorithm and social media is against you, that even if you're providing more value to humanity, that the other people who's gonna benefit more economically, you have to understand these things. Okay? I remember people used to be complaining about people stealing their work and TikTok and other social media platform. But as a melanated person, if you have any common sense, you will see the game that's been played. And you will all see that it all ends back up with economics. So when you realize that you're carrying inside of you a code of remembrance, and that code of remembrance have to do with the melanin that is in you, you have to realize that all you have to do is use reverse psychology. So everything they tell you as a child, everything you learn from your parents, especially if you grow up in a home where they make you believe that there's some pale-skinned man gonna come from the sky to save you, or make you believe that there's some chosen people somewhere in the Middle East and so on, and you have that kind of belief, and you grow up with your parents talking about amen, and think it means so be it, when it doesn't mean that. It has to do with amen and so on. If you grow up and you look at people who look like you, and you see they were willing to sell out themselves and sell their own people, you have to realize that what you were taught is not really the truth. Okay, for example, there's a group of people they call the black bully, black elite or whatever. They're willing to do anything, okay, to keep you blind, while they say, let me put the word, say prosper and expand themselves by keeping you uninformed. Let me put it that way. And keep you miseducated. And so the whole school system, the whole church system, the whole political system, all these systems is to keep you uninformed and in an uneducated state, because you wouldn't be able to draw out from yourself when you listen to these people with a dark agenda. So when I speak about the melanin code, there's certain lifestyle change that must take place in your life to activate this melanin code, okay, that is in you, okay. And then when the communication start to come to you, you'll be able to go on the internet and see all of the frauds and fakes that look just like you, to be honest with you. But see, most people are more focused on people's success and what they're achieving and so on, because they're more focused on the temporal, material things more than the things of the heart. They, instead of they tune into their conscience, their conscience, and tune into their intuition and allow their intuition to lead them and guide them, they look up to people as idols and as role models. That is why the people who run the NBA and the NFL and run the music industry and all of these other money making schemes that they set up by harvesting the people energy through their talents, through their creativity, they do that, okay, to keep the people divided and to make the people believe that success is based on the amount of things that they could achieve in this world. But no, when you come to know who you are and the power that you possess, and you understand the power of melanin and how it is a code of intelligence, okay, and you must tap into the code of intelligence to basically be able to get in touch with your ancestors and what your ancestors want to communicate with you, then you start to be living a rich life. To live a rich life is to live a life where you know that you can bend reality to your will, and you could live your life whichever way you want it to be. And you do not have to depend on anything outside of yourself. you activate that which is within you, and all the doors will open for you. So even when they try to do things to hurt you, all these things will turn together for your good. Just like I mentioned earlier, when I was going through the dark night of the soul and the things that I was going through, it was to open up a new avenue for me. Okay? So I normally say, tough times don't last, but tough people do last. Okay? Because they're not going to play the game of being like a victim and feel sorry for themselves. Too much of people are feeling sorry for themselves when they are going through what they're going through, and they're missing the lesson that life wants to teach them. Okay, so my brother, my sisters, don't just see yourself as a melanated person and do not understand that melanin carries with it a code. And that code that melanin carries with it is what gives you the ability to transcend faster than anyone else that's having this human experience on this planet. That's why you are so hated. Okay, so don't just get knowledge and talk about melanin and so on. Okay. Have the desire to have a communication network open within you, so that when you go to bed at night and you wake up in the morning, that certain knowledge and wisdom and understanding will be communicated to you. Have the desire to get some sort of intervention, to get some form of visitation, because we are not here by ourselves alone. They want you to think so. Okay. Many people finding themselves too much under artificial light. People are getting themselves caught up in too much artificial things. Okay, there's some people don't even find time to be by themselves alone. So what are you going to say to yourself? Okay, it's very important to know what you're saying to yourself every day. And that is why isolation is very, very important, to learn to activate the melanin that is within you, which is the intelligence that is within you. Okay, so there's a level of intelligence that you're carrying as a melanated person, but they've been blocking the signal of that intelligence to your belief system. Believe you me, it is your belief system that's keeping you in the state that you're in. So for example, okay, because just now I'm going to read the comments, okay? For example, in America, black people, melanated people are in the minority. In the Caribbean and in Africa, we're in the majority, but being trapped in mental slavery. And then those who are in North America, who have access to more knowledge from the books, they are under more restrictions and they are outnumbered. And because many are still so much trapped into the American dream, and they build a false narrative in their mind about living conditions and so on. And they believe the narrative that the West give them concerning like the Caribbean and Africa and so on. They make them feel like these regions are a bunch of poor people and so on. Many of them, when they come to this part, they come with a bunch of expectation and they come with a wrong mindset, and the behavior tells it. Sometimes when they travel from these countries and they go to other countries and so on, the behavior at hotels and so on, like we said, what happened in Jamaica and so on, and they behave in such a way as if they are what's the word I'm looking for, entitled. They behave like if they are entitled, and it's as if they're better than other people, because sometimes people could be so brainwashed, okay, with the Western media, that they could go to Africa and believe they're better than the people of Africa, you know. Because sometimes people in Africa have problems like that with people who call themselves African Americans. You see how they divide us? To keep us conquered. Okay? So, my brothers, my sisters, activate that melanin code to give you a certain level of intelligence to understand the game that has been played. And when you understand the game that has been played on this planet, you learn to play the game the right way. Okay? So don't just accept yourself as a melanated person and just accept melanin as something that have to do with pigment in your body. No, it's something that have to do with a whole intelligence, communication network. Okay? And when that network activates within you, you know all the lies that have ever been taught to you, especially the lie of the Bible, where they tell you that a man existed 2,000 years ago with special powers. You will realize it's all about you, and everything is within you, and everything exists in your consciousness, and then you'll be able to take all of the scientific terms that they are using and all of the different codes they put in books and give to the world. You will realize how simple it is, and they are making it more complicated for you because you like knowledge and intellect. That is why if you check out for the past years, the men and women that melanated people have been listening to, which I'm not against these people. Okay, they did a tremendous work. They were very eloquent speakers. People gravitate towards, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all of these people because they were very eloquent speakers. But the greatest thing on this planet is your experience and then nature. Nature and your experience will never contradict each other. Okay, never contradict each other. That's why all I can share with you is my experience and show you my experience, how it links back with nature. Okay? So my brother, my sisters, tap into that melanin code, activate that melanin code. Start to change your lifestyle. Start to say different things to yourself. Change your belief system. Listen to all of these self-help authors and speakers on the internet. Study them. Study all of these pale-skinned people. Okay, listen to them. Don't refuse to listen to them. Listen to them and put two and two together. Study them. They study you. They already study you. They know your next move. They make sure they are a step ahead of you. They give you the Bible, take the lands. They give you the Bible and take all the riches of Africa. But what they can't take from you is the riches that's in you, because Africa is a replica of the real Africa that is within you, and people can't see it. People leave America and went and go to Africa, but they were supposed to bring Africa to America within themselves so they could go to Africa and enrich Africa. You catch that? There's so many people who call themselves African American, they leave, they went to Ghana, they went to other countries in Africa. But before they go, what they want to do is bring Africa. How are you going to bring Africa? You have to close your eyes, man. And you have to tap inside and find the Africa that is within you, that rich place that is within you, that limitless place that is within you. That's why the oil and all the different things, even what they need to put in the cell phone to get it working and so on, all the things they need for the advancement of science and technology. You have to go in the continent of Africa and get it out. It's to show you what is inside of you, melanated man. It is to teach you what is in you, melanated woman. So just stop looking at Africa as just a continent, a geographical place, and see that it is a psychological and spiritual place within you. Do not just see Ethiopia as a country. See Ethiopia as a state of mind that is within you. When you study the battle at Adwa, right, in Ethiopia, that conquered the colonizers, see that as a state that is inside of you, and you have to find that communication link which will lead you back to a bloodline. That's how you start to win in life. Okay? So like me, you don't have to depend on YouTube and whether you go viral or you ain't going viral and all of that. You don't give a shit with what they want to do. Okay? Someone say, true, bro. Thank you very much. Someone say, greetings, brother. Love from St. Lucia / Canada. Okay, so this is a person from St. Lucia but live in Canada. Okay, thank you very much. And just like they had election in my country, they had election in St. Lucia too. Okay, but just as it is in my country, they're still under the crown. Same thing with St. Lucia. St. Lucia claimed to get independence in 1979. My country is the same thing too. Yet they're not independent. That's why they're still using the same money. Okay, still Britain. Okay, but not until we learn to change our mentality and access that melanin code within us, that we'll be able to get communication from our ancestry line, from an ancestry line before the conquerors, before the oppressors, because the oppressors is still the oppressors. They can't change, you know, and don't try to change them. They want to be the head and you be the tail. And you can't give them wrong, because if you want to be the head, you want them to be the tail. So you have to understand how to play the game. That's all I just be doing, you know, teaching people how to play the game and accept the game for what the game is. Don't think you're going to wake up all of your brothers and sisters because you're waking up. No, don't think it's going to happen. This is not Christianity where you go and join church and you bring your brothers and sisters to follow you. This is where you produce, you bring forth, and let them see. Someone say, like up the live, y'all make sure you subscribe. Okay, at least, that's the least you could do. Okay, at least subscribe, like, and comment. Okay, but I have to be honest, okay? Channel like my channel, they closely monitor. Don't make nobody fool you, okay? Because as long as you're not speaking from experience, they have no problem with you, no? You can say whatever you want to say on the internet, as long as they realize that you have no experience, it's not a problem. As long as once they know that you're just intellectual, man, they will collab all thing with you. They come, they will interview you, this, that, because you talk in their language. But I'm not here to speak no one's language. I'm here to represent the truth and bring a message to melanated people, because it was a melanated man that came to me, okay, out of a burning bush that doesn't consume. Someone says, yeah, what's up, Guruji? I remember someone tried to tell me, oh, you say Guru, you're Indian. Do you realize they call us West Indians? And they have a cricket team named West Indies cricket team. I think they just beat New Zealand just recently there. Someone say Grand Rising, Grand Rising to you too. Hi to you also. Someone say greetings, BlackMadGuru. It's truly a pleasure to have you here in the now, sharing such knowledge with us. Thank you very much. Okay, and I like how you mentioned now. You see, people always believe that time is real and believe in yesterday and tomorrow and so on. No. There's only now. Okay, this is the eternal now. And when you find the eternal now, you would know that you are eternal. And you will find it in consciousness. You can't find it in no other place. You find it in consciousness. That is why you have to realize that all the content that you can find on the internet with these people who are your polar opposite, you have to understand that they are speaking in a code. And once you understand that they're speaking a code, you understand why they have to play their part and you have to play your part. You must become the change that you want to see. Don't expect and think melanated people just going to change and they're going to believe you and they're going to walk the same path like you. No, you become the change and do not sell yourself short. Work towards bettering yourself. Don't just get caught up with knowledge and talk about you have melanin. Be melanin in expression. Be melanin in communication. Show that you are melanated by being more in alignment with nature. understand the power of the sun, and understand the power of the light that is within you, and use that light. Because when you find that place of light that is within you, it will light you up in a way to express your creativity on this planet, to uplift the rest of humanity. That is why you can't allow AI to be more intelligent than you. You can't expect AI to fulfill you, because it will never happen. Only finding your consciousness and your melanated communication line that is with you, that's gonna really enlighten you. When you see as a melanated person on the internet, when you speak and you see people are willing to call you dumb, you know that you're doing something. You know that you're saying something. Okay? You know that. I always remember that. Someone says here, I am more than a man. I am God. Don't say it. Live it. See, that's what knowledge just do. Make you say things. Live it. Your life would say that you are God. Someone say your skin color means nothing. Of course, your skin color means nothing if you call the earth from which all the food comes from, that all race depends upon, if you call that nothing. Don't make no one fool you with this kind of language. Your skin color mean a lot. Okay, don't make no one fool you. Okay? Your skin color mean a lot. You see, this is a narrative they've been using to talk about skin color mean nothing. That's not true. Skin color mean every freaking thing. Don't make nobody fool you, eh? Your skin color mean everything. You know, do you know how good I feel when I look at the earth? Every single day of my life, I look at the earth and I smile. And I remind myself, every part of the world you go, there is no part in the world where you can go and find the soil being white or bleached out, and the food that people need on this planet is growing from it. You never find that. Yet in my country, on a beach where they have sandals, right now they have sandals. It used to be Bukumembe Resort. That's why I would encourage you to get my book called Bukumembe Resort and the Messenger. Okay? Bukumembe Resort, it was black sand. And these people go and import white sand and throw the white sand over the black sand. So how color mean nothing? And stop dark shit in my ears. But skin color means nothing. Bullshit. But you tell me about you black for? But I'm black. I'm the smartest person in the world. I don't care whether you black or you white or whatever. You understand? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you so or not. Okay? Because if you're going to say that the color of skin will mean nothing, you're talking shit.
Alan?
Yes. And you will all be treated based on the color of your skin.
Alan?
Yeah, man. Any part of the world you travel, okay, you'll be treated a certain way based on the color of your skin, so don't talk shit. Then this asshole have the nerves to tell me what? Shut the fuck up, racist. Look, let me show you how much I am more intelligent than you. Okay, on this live, I could actually delete your comment and I could shut you off and even say in this channel, but I wouldn't do that because why? I'm more than you. I'm going to show you that I'm more than you. Okay? This whole life that we're living here, okay, it's a race itself. So why I mustn't be a racist? Everyone is a racist. Once you're aware that you belong to a certain race or a certain species, just like you can identify the difference between a goat and a sheep. You could identify the difference between a horse and a donkey. Okay, what difference it is for you to identify yourself based on whatever race you are. You have a certain unique look, a certain skin texture, a certain way you speak, everything. So you're gonna deny that? You're the one who needs to shut the fuck up, because you're making yourself look like an asshole, and I will entertain an asshole to express how much he's an asshole on the internet, so the internet could see. Okay? So I'm not gonna delete your comment. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna thank you for your comment. Okay? Because you make the live a little bit even more interesting too. Okay, because I like when people do that. Okay? So continue to be an asshole. Okay? Someone say ET, extraterrestrial God, even scientists disagree with your premise. I don't give a damn about scientists that is not teaching you that consciousness is the only reality. You are a spiritual scientist working with spiritual and divine laws. So don't get caught up with different with people who you're identifying as being different than you, when there's only one universal consciousness. Okay, and it's how you arrange your mind. It is just all based on how you arrange your mind. It will mean what result you will get in your life and how you see things in your life, which will go all the way back to your experience. So you can't come and tell me that my experience, okay, doesn't add up with okay, I think I understand what the person is saying. Okay, let me take back what I'm saying. I think the person is saying even the scientists wouldn't want to. Okay, I think he was siding with the scientists. I don't believe he's siding with the scientists. He's saying what I experienced, even the scientists would want to disagree with me. So I take that back, my brother. Okay, I understand what you're saying now. Okay, I understand. But I think what I was saying, I want to be able to help somebody else who may have thought, well, you're coming across that way too. Okay, but I understand what you're saying now. Okay. All humans are equal regardless of skin color. Okay, no one here is no human. I'm not a damn human. I am God in flesh. What you call in human is just a damn experience. This body, human, what you call in human is humus. It's from the dirt. That's not who I am. That's not my identity. That's not my identity. So don't come around here with that kind of bullshit. But regardless of skin color, you talking shit. Real shit you talking. Okay? I can guarantee you right now, if I was to travel throughout the airports, right in the Caribbean, the way I will be treated will be different than Caucasian people. I experienced that. One time I traveled from Jamaica. Okay, I went to Jamaica. Okay, I flew from St. Lucia to Jamaica. And then, let me just wait for the wind to calm down. Okay? Yeah, so I flew from St. Vincent to St. Lucia. And then from St. Lucia to Jamaica. And then, when I was coming back, I flew from Jamaica to Antigua. And the way how the people in Antigua was treating us in the airport because of our skin color, and they have the same skin color like us, was different than how they was treating the Caucasian people. And at that time, I was still trapped in secular Christianity, but I still had the same kind of mindset to stand for what is right, and we chant those people. Was me and another brother by the name of Raja. He passed on already. We chant those people because I was coming from Jamaica. How they wanted was to search us up and do this and do that, and they wasn't doing that with the Caucasian people. So keep your ass quiet, you talking shit. Even in Africa, dark-skinned people can't travel to certain African countries right in the same Africa, and there is one continent without they being harassed. I know a guy who's a YouTuber traveling the whole of Africa and trying to show people what but Western media wouldn't show them. And then in certain African countries, they lock him up. So keep your ass quiet. But all humans are equal. Where you equal? Regardless of skin color. Bullshit. Talking shit. Talking shit. Real shit. Someone say, what's the meaning on people having dreams about going to heaven or hell? Heaven and hell is in your consciousness, okay? So a higher place of consciousness and a lower place of consciousness. So if you are fed with religious beliefs about heaven and hell, okay, and your subconscious mind being impressed, because your subconscious mind is just speaking about your essence, you know, your true essence, who you really are, your non-physical. You see, most people fail to realize that the story they read in the Bible about Jesus and Christ is basically your physical self and your non-physical self, but they make you believe it's some freaking pale-skinned man who existed thousands of years ago. No, it's a story about your physical and your non-physical self, yo. Okay? So, if you're chopping your physical self, that you chop in hell. But if you understand your non-physical self, okay, you will find heaven. And you'll be able to create heaven here. They don't want you to know that. They want you to know that to discover that. When they have dreams like that, they never say what God or Jesus look like. They never. It just, you know, yesterday I was telling a religious guy the same thing. He was telling me a story of someone who said they had dream or heaven and hell, and they made Jesus and asked him, what color is it be? I said, man, that's bullshit you talking. If they can't tell you how he look, I said, I could tell you how the man look to walk from the fire that doesn't consume, the burning bush that doesn't consume, that fire that doesn't consume. He was a melanated man just like me with African clothing on. The what you call it? Tell you why is this African? Dashiki. African dashiki. And the features was Ethiopian feature. Okay? I could tell you that. All the people who always say, oh, they made Jesus, they can't tell you how Jesus look. Okay? But that is you coming in touch and meeting your higher self. Basically, your non-physical self. You see, Jesus is like a code. It's like a code. Okay? It's a code. You have to understand code. So you thinking is a man who existed thousands of years ago. And every time you hear that word, think about your flesh, the flesh man. That's why they tell you, then, hey, the chick, they tell you, oh, he was totally human, he was totally divine. What do they mean by that? It means, okay, totally he have the human experience, you're having the human experience, but totally you are divine too. So it's basically a story of your physical and non-physical self. If you can't get that, well, you're mentally retarded. That's why if you can't look in the mirror and see both God and the devil, you're mentally retarded. And you'll live the rest of your life. That's what they say. What I'm telling you here now, is what I was telling that Christian guy yesterday. Now. He done 42. He himself have a woman in his life. Living from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, working with some Indian people come right in this country. And he working with them like a damn slave, talking about Jesus. And how he believed this and he believed that, talking shit. And when you speak out like this, oh, you racist. Yeah, I'm racist. 100% racist. Okay? So I ain't gonna compromise. I talking the truth. Okay? Any part of the world you travel based on the color of your skin, you'll be treated a certain way. Don't give me no shit. All these religious idiots, where they go travel? Right in their own region, right in this Caribbean region here. Tourists been treated better than you. Your own people with the same complexion like you. Because how they've been brainwashed. They live in survival mode. They can't find the Africa in themselves. The rich damn place in themselves. Somebody say when they have dreams like that, they never say what color this Jesus be. Okay? Damn lie. They having an experience in their consciousness. You see, People start about the dream, but they never tell you that the dream in you, you know, is God. The God you're talking about is the dream, you know. Because I non-physical self, your non-physical, that was say God don't sleep, you know, your non-physical self can't sleep, don't sleep. Your non-physical self don't die. Your non-physical self does only leave house. This is your house. It's about we human and one. Oh, the human, get the hell out there. I will say it again. I don't want to ever mix my seed with anybody outside my race. I'm living and dying with black women, not a woman. What are you talking about? I remember one time I did a video where against interracial marriage, some asshole that could tell me about love don't see color. Get this stupid asshole tell about love don't see color. I would see color till the day I die. And I know that I'm a self-realized and self-awakened person. I know it. Any melanated man or woman who tell you that they don't see color and they tell you that they awaken or they tell you that they enlighten or they tell you they're conscious and they're spiritual, they lie. Man, sometimes I just want to call some of these people's name on YouTube who telling people a bunch of lying about people because they're seeing color too, you know, they're going and they're subscribing and follow them. Because they look like they're successful. You make car and house and most of the time they're following them and these people don't live in the same community with you. They don't want to live in the same community like you. Just like all the young people just follow all these Jamaican artists, dancehall artists who these fake Jews buy them. Got their own the record labels and all of these kind of things. And these artists and in my country, you know, election time they bring all these Jamaican artists, you know. They pay them and tell them exactly which artists they must bring in, because all of them is a part of the club. You think they're gonna live in the same ghetto like the people that will just go to the concert? No, this live in gated community. And I ain't give them wrong. You think when I speak ever tell you to be against people in this and that? No, I speaking to tell you wise up. Because there's certain communities in my country I don't want to live among certain people because of the energy. Tell them about. Someone say you can't even read. Can you? That alone proves something about you. Because look, I know read what you say. Okay. If you have nothing else, well, it God, you God, which God you be? A sleeping one. Can I be God asleep or God awake? Okay? And you're so weak. All you can do is hide behind a piece of machine, whether a cell phone or a computer or whatever. Why don't you debate me face to face? You see I just do any faceless videos. You see my content is faceless. Check me out on a Zoom call. And then we talk. And then I post it up here for everybody to see. In all my lifetime, I've been a damn warrior. I've been a leader. I continue to be that. But read and read. Someone say, yes, close your eyes and practice the single eye. Don't just practice the single eye. Experience the damn single eye that inside of you. Man, I tell you, they really, really do a work on the people on this planet with information where they believe, oh, because this person posts up a video, because this person, and then you never depend on your own mind. You just feeding on other people's mind, people mind. Nothing wrong with reading books, you know. Nothing wrong with listening to people, you know, but you have to understand at the end of the day, you have your intuition. Where your intuition lead you and guide you. Well, I am telling you, as one who would have already experienced, one who activate the real melanin code, I'm telling you, there is an eye inside of you. You are called it pineal gland, you are called it all kind of name. Either name and all of these things doesn't matter to me. Scientific terms don't matter to me. The experience is what matters. How you see things through your third eye? If your third eye ain't open. We talking about when the book of mind science, the metaphysical and esoteric book, the psychological book, when it says shall change from mortal to immortality in a twinkling of an eye, in the twinkling of an eye, it's an actual eye that's open inside of you. That's why when I started to speak, back in what 2020. I was speaking since 2017, but all like I've been speaking on like YouTube and so on. But even before that, I had invited a few people and I used to speak to them. Okay, before. Okay, but anytime I the big scam them, pandemic, when I started to tell people the eye is not no evil eye, and it's not no RC and I no damn Lucifer, no Satan or whatever thinking they have and so on. What the real eye is all about. People start reaching out, ask me if I'm part of some secret society or some sort of fraternity. I look like a kind of man who people could control to tell me what to say and when to say and how to say it. I look like a kind of man who could control money. I look so to you. Anybody who listen to me, I look like a kind of man people could control money. Bro, I could never be controlled by no money. Nobody, no, watch me. Nobody could try to give me money. You understand? Not to be who I supposed to be. Since I know myself a little boy, people criticize me, people say all kind of thing about me. You understand? People tell me I need to do this, I need to do that. People say, oh, you're going to get in trouble. I don't care. I be my true self. I'm not going to hide nothing from people. You either accept me or reject me. I realize when you share knowledge, true knowledge, to help people, they don't reject you. They walk on you, they spit on you, they say crucify him, they say stone him to death, do this, they do that, but do your work. So I die with a freaking chance. Why do you think billionaires just give away the money? To die in peace. Fuck. If you, the more money you get, the more you want. How do I know that? From experience. How you telling me about? It's from experience. The more money you get, the more money you want. If I'm a self-realized person, I'm telling you that. And because I know how to control it. You understand? And bring back myself to reality. You understand? Of my mortality. And also my immortality. I'm telling you. You don't want the billionaires have to give away a whole of money to die in freaking peace? They want to die in peace? Without good conscience? You think if I did take the offer that they offer me when I all you on YouTube, I could have expressed myself like how I wanted, how I express myself. One time I see a young man from Africa. Yeah, a young man from Africa. I don't know what he did. Okay, he didn't know what faster eBay. I remember that guy had 9,000. I see how fast that man reach up to 100,000. Then he started talking about he want the fastest growing YouTube and thing. And then he joined himself with a guy that called spiritual. So, but me have to laugh. Me don't want to say something, you know. And another young guy named Van to cut. But me just have to laugh. Me don't want to say certain things, you know. And then the worst mistake he make, you know, when the guy spiritual so bring a light skin funny face woman like where Cat William talk about, right? And he go criticize the guy and tell him, oh, that girl is a devil and this and that. You have to take down your channel, you know. He try come back, he could have never, don't care what he couldn't come back. Same thing with this guy, young Pharaoh and thing, they can't come back, this and that, you know. Then the same guy, Pastor Ibe from Africa, the last thing he do, you know, I tell him about thing I see, you know, on social media. The man was walking in the night, naked as he born. He and his girl hold hand. People come out in the community and they was to stone them, naked. And people come in and say, oh, that is a ritual he doing and this and that. Nobody can control me, boy. I know what it's like growing up, cooking on wood fire. I know what it's like walking bare feet. I know what it's like having one pants on as a little boy. I know. So I go sell myself short for money. And this temporal experience I have in here. I could call so much a melanated people name. Put it on YouTube. Who can't speak like me? They can't. Because they control. Sell out themselves. Sell their manhood. So when this person walk out, oh, you can't even read. That's all they can say. Sound like a little child. Be a man. You're facing a real man. One with balls and backbone. Don't be like a little sissy. Okay? Debate me face to face. Tell me where I'm going wrong. Someone say, yes, close your eyes and practice the sing lie. Practice which freaking sing lie. Huh? You practice sing lie, if you sing lie now open inside of you? Huh? They feed the whole world with love attraction and all of this. They tell them about, oh, see, think you a sing lie. The sing lie have to open. And I realize my brother here, Nimrod, answering this ET guard. Okay. But he now I want himself in just years now. The sleeping God. If we were all equal, slavery is rational, would not have occurred. Okay. 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 And it's still happening, you know. Slavery never ended, you know. It's just in a systematic way. It's just in a systematic way. That's why whenever I watch movie and I see melanated people inside the day, I know the role that they don't give them to play, and them I take the role, them I take the role. Them who choose the role. Okay? So someone said that's how I know the algorithm be working against my mind. But the algorithm is set up to go against melanated people. Only the melanated people you see, they have to do something. You understand? For the algorithm to go on their side, they have to do something. They have to do some sort of sell out, some sort of thing. You must notice, right? Those who sell themselves short and decide for go to hybridization. You see, they did with some funny face woman, okay, because probably they give them that wife there, whatever, okay, and so on. You notice, you know, they've set the algorithm for help them because they don't sell themselves. Because them they play the game how they want them to play the game. They control them, but they can't control me. How you can control me? I can't be controlled. Not even death could control me because I already died. I already died. Because there's no man on this planet could tell me they had some awakening experience and they haven't died. When I was getting my experience, I said, this is death. I said that. That's why a while ago when I was doing live and exposing the code that Neville, the fake using, which is the Abdullah code, which is a slave code using, okay, with a story to keep the people distracted so they wouldn't see the real mystic within themselves, okay, and think that he's bringing some sort of knowledge to them. After being in his brotherhood and so on, and his parents come from slavery, running the slave trade in the Caribbean, where I think they end up in Barbados from England and so on. Yeah, Neville Goddard. The parents and all of them plantation, they had plantation. So you talk about me some mistake and Abdullah lie. Abdullah represents servant. And he playing the part of God is a game. Okay. Yeah, it's a parody. Okay, so you have to reverse the thing. Okay, so yeah, this person come and tell me, oh, Abdullah for start body board. I'm not Abdullah, Neville. Does he check the hours playing? So what they do, right? They'll bring information because of stolen books and all of these things they have. All the different relics, all the different things that they steal from Africa and all of these things, right? That they still have in Europe all about, right? They would seem as if they are one step ahead of you and they bring information before you. There's a check. So when people refer to Neville and them and say them mystic, them are not real mystic or philosopher, they're not real. It's a damn check. It is because you are behind. So it seems like these man bringing knowledge and thing and then bringing knowledge to humanity. No, it's because you was behind. So you live in America and you know doesn't know anything about the Goddards and Sons and the businesses that were set up in the islands, and you gonna make that little drunkard boy, Neville, tell you foolishness. How could a man be visualizing for 2 years to see their family name and a building and in have prior knowledge? Man, you see all them people in America would have started about Neville. I want to give them a club behind the head with the thing, you know, man. Maybe if I give a club behind the back of your head, it will help you, you know. I remember a fruit dropped from a tree and I tried to duck from it and it hit me right here, back of my head. Yeah, right here. How could a man Neville own mouth, you know? Man, well, look. When I done with Neville, you know, they make sure get that channel where you don't expose Neville, you know? They make sure this kind of thing ain't go out much, you know. Because remember, as I tell you, if you ever watch a movie with Troy, the Trojan horse, Neville is their Trojan horse to their Troy, you know. And I get in the Trojan horse and don't break through the walls of Troy, you know. And the elders and thing running and hiding, you know. When they talk about Wallace Wattles and all of these people, Andrew Carnegie, but you name it, you bring anybody, Tony Robbins, you bring any one of them. Oh, bestsellers. The Trojan horse to their city of Troy. You know how long them people been ruling? You know how long these people been playing the part of the head? And you been playing part of the tail? You know how long them been playing the part of the master? And you been the slave? Why you think when people join secret society, just call themselves master too? Grandmaster. Well, yeah, people. I remember one time I met a young man in my country bragging and boasting about his grandfather. Oh, he's that school leader. My grandfather, I say, which one your brotherhood he belong to? He didn't understand me quite well. When he really understand, I say, I be explain. He say, oh, yeah. Is there anything to tell me which one his grandfather did belong to? And his grandfather was a grandmaster and this and that. Fake grandmaster. Just like the fake woman in Venezuela. Talk about she Nobel Peace Prize. What the laugh? Hey, jump on the real bold face to it, man. But you really have to be real stupid in these times, not to really see. Look, Trump just free a man who been in prison from Honduras, you know, for drugs, you know, and Trump say he in the Caribbean. in the Caribbean, cleaning up the Caribbean and drugs, and drug boats. With Trump, hey, they were hilarious, and that who lead in America. But watch about people wake up the man, and this guy want to come and tell me shit. What you lead in America? I mean, the man really is two of the biggest drug leaders. One of them was the president of Honduras before. I can't remember the name. I'm responsible for remember name neither. Because you can check out the story for yourself. Really is the man after about 45 years in the game. But it's a joke. It's a game. That's why I see many people want to talk about Jesus now and think I want to get a hard cloth. Oh yeah, the Nahamati library. Yeah. People like quote all of them things. They have special fella on YouTube. You know? I'm a here a sellout. I tell you, he's a sellout. Them kind of man, they can reach out to me for collab, you know. Nah. What they do with them? Is that kind of man, they can reach out to collab. Why do you think most black people on YouTube don't collab? That will stick to protocol. Keep your ass quiet, talking shit. Yeah. That is about like that one, Nakamati, library and all kind of thing. Yeah, just talking about books. But nothing the experience. Somebody say conditioning is real. Yeah, the conditioning in the mind is real. Can you say why are you gay? I look like well, if you mean when I say gay, I mean happy? Because I'm a happy man. I'm one of the happiest man there is. Okay? And here joke, right? If I was a man who like to say like I was on the other side when it comes to sexuality, I was gonna hide, you know. No, I never was gonna hide. Sometimes you see the people who like to talk about these kind of things, but who gay or who gay, there is who are who gay. No, you realize the only how you can know a man is gay in that sense, as a homosexual, if it's that you're trying to say, is that either he go with you or you go with he, one or the two, which one? Which part you was playing? Korean baby life, which part you was playing? I believe you was playing the boy, the part of the girl, you know. Yeah, I was giving it to you. That's how you know. Because remember the black man, we carry the length and strength. You fucking with the wrong man right now. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Even him, Korean baby life. Somebody say it with aggression. Nothing wrong with aggression. Okay? How can I open the third eye? It's not how you can open the third eye, you know. It's how the third eye can open you. It's how the third eye can release you. You see, people had the thing backward. You are open your third eye. No, I thought I gonna open you. Open you to a new world. Yeah. So now you trying to open me third eye. Third eye go open up you to a new world. Okay? Someone say, Rashid, be kind in the key to is the key to heaven and charity and justice. I don't stuff like the word charity, okay? That's something they use to keep people blind. Okay, there's blinding with charity, giving and all of that. Okay, and fake love. You have to love yourself first. You can't love nobody else unless you first love yourself. And justice, to me, justice is balance. You understand in balance, okay? The only justice system I see is the one in nature. Whatever you sow, that you're gonna reap. That's the only justice there is. All these other so-called justice system, them is man-made thing. Okay. Someone say if you have never said a truth in life, I resonate with your words that when you speak your truth, you are rejected, especially by your own. And that's a fact. That's why I would always be the person that I am. I would never compromise. That's why I look, there's no amount of money in this world. There's no amount of millions could be promised to me. You understand? For me not to be me, I would always be me. This is just the real me, you see it. You think I'm gonna do like Sadhguru and them, try to be most moral and this and that, and put on a show for you, and then afterwards speaking for economic forum and knocking heads with George Soros and them. And when time I plan them, make it start to talk all this shit, they start to see real cause come out. Because why? They never want to reflect black people as enlightened people. They want to go India and all kind of thing. And don't think that those Indians are not racist. Someone call me racist? Man, look, everybody in this world is racist, eh? Colorist. Somebody say, hey, uncle, hope this isn't off topic, but when it comes to money and finances, do you budget? I'm real good on that, man, to be honest with you. I'm real good on that. Trust me. I'm real good on that. If I wasn't good on that, I would have been begging YouTube for mercy. Yeah. I would have been begging YouTube for mercy. I would not even be making any more content because I would have been looking to them for money. I know I could budget, man. Real good too. Okay. I know how to be a minimalist too. I know all of that. But as I always say, when I started YouTube, I did, and I speak in the truth. I never know you could make a cent from YouTube. I just wanted us to give to humanity. I just wanted us to tell my experience. That was it. And people saying to me, oh, brother, you really blessed me. Brother, you really helped me. That's all I always wanted. That's why when people comment and they say, you was really instrumental in my spiritual journey, it means a lot to me. People saying I helpful to them, that means to me more than any amount of money. Believe you me, it make me feel good. Make me feel real, real good to know I help somebody. It's always been inside of me. They think it's now since I was a little boy going to school, I want to help people. Our own people. Someone say I'm late to the live. Not sure if you answered it already, but how does one activate the melanin code? Change all the habits you get from your parents if you are a melanated person. Believe you me, all the sayings, change the language, change the belief system, and switch everything else around. And always see the people who's not as melanated as you, like the other races, and put it this way. Okay, see them as the polar opposite of you. See it that way. And never think there won't be no oneness and no unity among us. It can't happen. There could never be light alone, and there could never be darkness alone. The darkness have to complement the light, and the light have to complement the darkness. You have to have all, watch, everything happening in America with us happening. It doesn't matter which president. Watch me. I just saying this party for a little bit of entertainment where your black ass should all be cheated a certain way in America. Okay? You have to have fun too, eh? But it's the truth. Okay? You'll still be treated. It doesn't matter what. And all these missionaries that come to the Caribbean, they come with an agenda. So, you have to unlearn, relearn, and reprogram your whole subconscious mind. You start all over. Get rid of everything. If you never curse the pale Jesus they give you, start to curse the pale Jesus. You know? If you never see the Bible as a book of mind science, see it as a book of mind science. Start to see all the people who believe in Jesus as a man 2,000 years ago as being mentally retarded. All these things will start to help you to tap into that melanin code. Because if you got, you know among the people in my country I entertain by just saying to them that the Bible is a book of mind science and it shouldn't be interpreted as literal and secular history more than that. And you know they use their mind to tell me that it's not mental. You know how much you have to be mentally retarded to use your mind to say the words and actions that it is not mental and everything in the Bible is words and action. It's either things that someone say or do. Where else it could be in this world more than words and actions? Because words are spells. And that's what declare your action. Boy, this thing simple. You see how I could put it simple? I mean, I make it complicated like Joe Dispenza and them, you know. They sound like they're really intelligent, eh? And all of them talk about neuroscience and all of that. Complicated language. I call it complicated language. Oh, the neuroscience and this and that. Oh, prefrontal cortex. The reticular activated system. They sound intelligent, eh? Simple thing. You see, when you get experience, you realize simplicity, that you realize, hey, God, which is your higher self, your true self, whichever name you are, you hide self in simplicity, and I'll reveal yourself in simplicity. You see how simple I be? Someone say, you are the best. Thank you very much. Okay, take the best to recognize the best. Someone says hi. Okay, someone say, thank you for answering my question. You're most welcome. Someone say, you have been really helpful to me. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I got lots of your books and you have really helped me change my life for free. For real, look, believe in me, bro. Whoever you are, what you saying to me means so much. It means more than $1 million. It means more than $10 million. That's why I tell you. Okay, I continue to make content. Whether they put out my content or not. Okay, whether the algorithm is not for me or what, it doesn't matter, I'm still gonna do it. And I will always do it because why? I'm just being my true self. I just be my real self. Okay, I started YouTube, as I said, was just to help people. Was nothing else. Okay, I walking back to my car. Okay, so I walking to so I could get out and so on and thing. And then afterwards I'll close. Okay, I started YouTube. Okay, with one purpose, and that purpose was to help people. And I decided to start YouTube after I got my experience. Okay, because when I got my experience and I started to go on the internet and start to listen to people, everything was just confirming my experience. I didn't know anything about awakening. I never knew anything about a mystic. I never know anything about that. If a person ever travel to the Caribbean, okay, especially to the smaller islands like my island, where I'm living here, we just have like 100. Imagine living in a country that just have like 103,000 people, okay, and a country that been colonized by the British and so on. Whether you've been colonized by the British or the French or the Dutch or whoever, okay, which are all of these people who make up the fake Israel and so on, right? Once you've been colonized, you find the people have a certain kind of mentality. Okay, that is why when you speak different to them, you act different, you think different, they call you crazy. Things that you say blasphemy, okay? So when I had the experience, you know, I had to get it out, okay? So when I try to talk to my people and so on, they say, I crazy, I lost my mind, okay? sometimes I go back on my older videos and I laugh at my own self. I say, but I could see why people thought I was crazy. Okay. Because you will definitely look that way too. Okay. And I just, follow my intuition. Okay. As opposed to be totally clean, shave everything off and all of them things and so on. And I just feel, comfortable to just live life. And then I was just living life. I wasn't trying to present to the world a certain character, a certain look, and all of that. I wasn't doing that. Okay, and that's why I'll never try to do that to gain any kind of favor from who run social media, anything like that. I just be myself. Okay, if you notice when I do these lives, I might reach a little bit more people. When I post a video, they make sure that they don't get it out there to the masses. Okay, because they know, okay, the potential behind this whole thing. Okay, but my brother, my sisters, I feel real good to know that I remain, true to myself. I remain true to the people who've been listening to me, and I remain true all in all. That's why I will always expose Neville Goddard, because I know Neville Goddard is a lie. Okay, when you talk about Abdullah, I know it's a lie. I know all these other people that they refer to as great mystics and philosophers, these light-skinned, pale-skinned people, I know it's a lie. It's a damn lie. These people are liars, okay? And that's their part. So you can't vex with them for being that, Because actually, right, this world we live in here is basically the world of lie. That's why it's an illusion, okay? It's an illusionary world. That is why it's a simulation. So it's a lie. So you have to tell lie here until that lie be felt in the world of truth, which is the non-physical world. And when it be felt in the world of truth, right? Because that world is not partial, it's impartial. Whatsoever you sow in that world, it will reflect itself back here in this physical three-dimensional world. It's like the earth. Whatever seed you sow in the earth, it will bring back that of its own kind. So whatever life that is in the seed, it will bring forth that life. It's the same thing with the personality. So your mind is a garden. That is why they make sure, like in the Caribbean, they infiltrate the children's mind in the formative years. The colonial masters did that, and they continue to do it. That's why I tell you, nothing ever changed. There's nothing new under the sun. Okay? So it's the same system happening over and over and over again. So when you see people like me, I hear people like me, it's a certain consciousness. Okay, it's a certain awareness. It's a certain state of mind. These states of mind and states of consciousness, they're always here. So the state of mind or state of consciousness of a savior, as a messiah, is not a state of mind that was. It's a state of mind that always is in the eternal now. So don't make these pale-skinned people try to tell you that they are God, but you, melanated people, not seeing me as God too, and yourself. But the reason why I say me, because I may have preceded you in the awakening. That's the only difference. Okay? And if someone precedes you in the awakening, okay, you harvest that energy. So, for example, you have in a picture like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, anyone who inspire you, okay, you having their pictures on it's a sign of respect to your ancestors and so on, and it give you the entrance, okay, the opening to harvest that energy from them, okay. Don't make the thing, don't make the fool you to make you believe that you can channel, okay, energies that already pass on. Don't make the fool you. It's just this body they leave, this avatar. Okay, so that's why we have so much of a religious so-called Christian society, to keep the people blind. Okay, let me just read down here because by the time it's an hour and a half, I think I might close. You say you have been, okay, really helpful, okay, already. Someone said, truly you have an extra fire today. How's that if I how's that if I ever something express it a little bit more because as time go by and more I come to the realization that you can't be conscious and don't talk about race. Don't make nobody fool you, man. That's really a lie. I mean, your eyes can't be open as a melanin man. You ain't see the pale skin people, man, for who they are. You have to see them for who they are. You have to see all the races for who they are, and you have to speak the truth. And you can't hate them. You see people that think is hate, angry and aggression. They try to tie anger and aggression and all of these things to us. We're not an angry set of people, If it was really this kind of angry and aggressive people, would have been the first set of people started to make guns and bombs and all of these things in the world. But we've always been a peaceful people. Okay, that's how we have always been. And because they know that they give you something to even make you more drunk and peace. Fake peace, Okay, that's why they make you believe that there's an entity that's so forgiving. Okay, that you should be a part of. Yet this entity can't forgive your enemy. Your own enemy, okay? So if you build hell for the devil. That's what they tell you, based on their story. So, yeah, my brother, my sisters, it's always a pleasure to be speaking to you. And let me say this before I end this video, okay, at this live. I would need as much books as possible. So anybody who could donate any book, self-help book, spirituality book, because as I always say, in my country, there has never been any metaphysical or esoteric library. There have never been any library to build the people's mentality, psychologically and spiritually. It's always just been just strictly economics. That's why they have a Carnegie. I do a video on another channel, okay, that I have here that I normally try to focus locally, right? And the algorithm gets that too. I'll tell you they're doing everything. Okay, but I know different means, but I know different means otherwise, okay, than social media. But anyway, and they have a building here, the very first library, okay, in my country is called the Carnegie Library, and most people in my country do not know who is Andrew Carnegie. They didn't know that these people belong to Southern Brotherhood and so on, were Carnegie, and then did know. Okay, and they then believe that Carnegie was just a humanitarian who helped humanity and so on, because I went into the building, have a conversation with the girl walking right in the building, she doesn't even know who's Carnegie. She tell me how she knows a man who did a lot of good things for humanity. That's where they are. That's how they have Africa, people in Africa in the same state, And we call charity, the giving to them. Don't make people always giving to you. Okay? That's why all I just ask people for is books. Because I want to have as much books as possible. Okay, because I remember quite vividly when I started on YouTube, people used to reach out to me and say, bro, I listen to you and I know you read this book, you read that book. And when you tell me the name of the book that I read, I say, what? Is that book name so? Let me go on Amazon. That's how I started to gather books. And that's why I have a good amount of books at home. People actually telling me that. Okay, you read this book. I know you read that book. Never read the book. You don't have access to those kind of things in this country, except if people join secret society and they have certain books at home. That's the only how. And you don't know what kind of book they just read. But you just hear people, since I started, I hear people come to me and tell me they know people who go and read where their father leave and this happened to them and that happened to them and so on. Because they understand the old science. Someone say, let me see. Someone say, greetings, brother. Greetings to you too. Someone says, hey, my brother, I have introduced your truth to 7 people who relish your teachings. As a matter of fact, Sundays are set aside to receive your blessing, your blessed knowledge. Thank you very much, my brother. I really, 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 really appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it, because what I need more than anything in this world is for people to receive what I have to offer, because I know without a shadow of a doubt that if I didn't have that mystical experience, which is the greatest experience on the face of this planet, I would not have the knowledge that I have. I would not be able to understand all of these different people I see on the internet. To be honest with you, it's like I could just hear a sentence from Joe Dispenza mouth and I know everything else what you're gonna say and where you're coming from. I could just hear a sentence from Bruce Lipton's mouth and I know where they're going. I just know Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins, you name anybody, and I just know where they're going. I know where they're coming from. You just know. So they're definitely a knowledge. A wisdom, well, I call it a knowledge because the wisdom is when you act on the knowledge, right? That many people have been blocked from. Okay, but I believe that the ancestors, okay, know my heart, okay, and they know that I will share the knowledge. And to be honest with you, when the man from the burning bush that doesn't consume spoke to me, though he was speaking in a different language, I could recognize the language of I am. I could understand the language of the commission given to Moses. And when I speak about Moses, I'm not talking about no man thousands of years ago, right? Moses meant to be born, taken out of the water, okay? Most of your body is water, most of the earth is water. He was in a basket, surrounded by water when he was in your mother's womb. You had an exodus, okay? And when you, before you get the exodus, your mother was struck with that rod. She stopped. Okay, she water back at the bus. Okay, before you could come. So there's a lot of flow in there. So when you talk about sea and this and all of that, don't get tricked. Okay. And when you come over here, you realize that you have a taskmaster, which is basically your circumstances, the effects, and you are the cause. But people ain't see it that way. They think it's a taskmaster named Pharaoh. No, it's all symbology. Yet, they did exist, the pharaohs. You see I'm showing you? You have to understand this thing. Okay? And so your circumstances and the thoughts that you go back to every day of your life that governs you, those are the kings that will always govern you. Okay? So a king, a queen, all of that always represent your anatomy. It's always something you have to go back to the body. Okay? Someone, Jambo, Kenya, someone from Kenya. It's good to have people tuning in. I'm in Kenya. Where can I get the book? The books are on Amazon. Okay, my books are on Amazon. And if you listen to me, and there's different publishers outside of Amazon that you can link me to, that I can get my books to go global. I want my books to go global. I realize with Amazon, people could even steal your work. People, I remember once I see my book selling for more money than somebody else's site. One of my books. I can't remember if it was the Black Mystic from Ethiopia. Okay, Neville got that mentor. Okay, because I tell you, when I started that book here, because they know that it was a whole lie that Neville put together and so on, and it was a trap and was a code for keep black people still enslaved, and they play the part of God and you play the part of the servant and so on, right? Many people went and they purchased it, and then they started to make a bunch of comments and tell people, oh, don't buy it, it's a bunch of rubbish, this guy's on low vibration and this and that. Yeah, because they get hot. Because I use reverse psychology, and I say, well, if Abdullah do this, he was saying this to the oppressor, he was saying this to the slave master, and he was doing all of that, because I know already, as I tell you, from a little boy growing up, I used to go to the Goddard's and Sons. And I did a live last week and show you some of the buildings in the city. Okay, and if people want me to get more evidence of the Goddard's establishment here and in Barbados and so on, I'll do that. Okay. People could even travel to Barbados and speak with people in Barbados concerning the Goddard's and who they were and so on. Okay. And you could chase the lineage back. Okay. So my brother and my sisters, you know, it's always a joy to serve you. It's always a joy to be with you. So if you like to support my library, you could just email me. I'll send you my wish list, the Amazon wish list, because I'm just collecting books. Even if you have books that you used before and you decide to send books, just send books. I want to be able, before I leave this planet, I want to leave a library. Not just for my children alone, but for other people they could read for themselves. They say, there's a saying that if you want to hide something from Melanin, people put it in a book. Okay, and it has some truth to it, because most of our people, they don't read. And reading is just one thing. Application is the next. Okay, you definitely have to apply these things in your life. But in order to be able to apply these things in your life, repetition is very much needed in terms of you want to have people repeating this thing to you over and over and over and over and over. So sometimes I don't mind saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over to you. Repetition is very, 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 very important because that's how they program you to, you know. Repetition in school, the repetition they use to program you to just keep you in the realm and just memory, and regurgitating thing over and over. I remember my ancestors when they were equipping me to send me, they speak to me about a disease called parotism. Now people suffering from it. Okay. Parotism is what is when you just saying back what you hear other people say. Is what I normally call intellectualism, based on what you read in a book, this, that, and that. You're speaking from other people's mind, not from your own mind, because you never really tap into yourself and draw out from yourself throughout your experience. You have to draw from your experience. That is the well of living water that's springing up inside of you that I read about in the book of Mind Science, the Bible. Man, I so much could unfold that damn shit in book, you know, man. That the well spring up inside of you. That's why I say I go open the floodgates. Because I tithe and an offering, which the church I take all the people money, which that's what I mean. Your money is your currency, your attention, your energy. Talking about when you start to give your energy to yourself. Money is just a symbol. That's why I pay myself. I remember I started when I now started to learn this thing, I used to pay 110 to myself every time. As a sign. Then I started to get it more and more, and then I put it in a book. So I open the floodgates of heaven and pour out a blessing. We think the blessing be that I won't have room. It's not money. It's more than money. It's the power to achieve anything in this world and to attract money. Money is a servant. You're not the servant of money. Just a tool. You're the creator. That is the creation. So my brother and my sisters, you know, I really want to thank you very much, okay, for really listening to me and for tuning in. Okay, and if you want to get my books, I'll definitely encourage you to support my books. They're all on Amazon. Okay, and I would definitely encourage you to get my gratitude journals. I have gratitude journal for him and gratitude journal for her. And start to journal your reality. Let me just sit down here just for another 5 minutes, okay? Start to journal your reality. When you see I wrote in those journals, right? Most people on the internet have journals, right? But they don't have the affirmation written in there. Okay, I meet you halfway. Sorry. I wrote in the gratitude journal that I am so happy and grateful now, and you have to add what you happy and grateful for. That is you casting spell. Words are spell. So I give you a book, okay, to cast a spell. And once you start to use that book, you journal it and you use this thing and you repeat over and 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 over. You could repeat something over and over. Okay, so much that you convince yourself. And once that you convince yourself and you feel you reach that feel, there's a feel of possibility inside of you called the kingdom. They call it the kingdom of God. Once that's been impressed there, it have to come back to you here as what you affirm and what you speak. You're magical. You have no right to be on this earth living just barely making ends meet. Let me put it that way. Lack, poverty, scarcity, all of these things is a mindset. It's a mindset. It's just recently that I sit down and I study and I say, I remember when $5,000 seemed like a lot of money to me. No, it's not like that. Because why? A shift to a different mindset. Okay, and I want you to enjoy and experience that shift too. So my brother and my sisters, really want to thank you very much. Okay, I'll definitely see you on another live. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay positive. And remember to do your affirmation daily until it becomes a part of your life. This is a lifestyle thing. Okay, so with that, my brother, my sister, I just want to say peace. Love you all. I'm out.